Alright, 7th grade math students, we are moving on to Unit 6. In Unit 6, we're going to be talking about solving one-step equations. This is stuff that you could probably do in your head, but I'm going to show you the way I want you to work it out. Please make sure you do it the way that I show you. First thing you need to do is get down a couple of definitions. First definition is inverse operations. Operations, if you remember, are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Those are our four major operations. Inverse operations are two operations that undo each other. So addition and subtraction are inverse operations, and multiplication and division are inverse operations. Our second definition is equivalent equations. Equivalent equations are just equations that have the same solution. So moving on, we're going to look at solving an equation using subtraction. So if you look, this is just copy and paste it out of your textbook. If it helps, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. The main thing I want you to understand is it says in words, subtracting the same number from each side of an equation produces an equivalent equation. So if I subtract the same thing from both sides, I'll wind up with an equivalent equation. So our directions say to solve the equation and check your solution. So again, you have to show the same work that I'm going to do on the notes right now. Please make sure you're doing all the same work. So our first question is z plus 16 equals 4. Again, we know it's an equation because there's an equal sign. The first thing I want you to do is box the original and then rewrite it. Z plus 16 equals 4. Now, we said that we're going to use inverse operations. If you look over here on the left side of the z, I'm doing z plus 16 addition. So if you want to do that, I need to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 16. If I do it from one side, I actually do it to the other side because we're trying to keep equivalent equations. So on the left side, 16 minus 16 is 0, so I just have z. 4 minus 16 is going to give me negative 12. So my solution is z equals negative 12. Then it says I need to check my solution. In order to check my solution, I just plug in what I got for the original. So I replace z with negative 12. So I have negative 12 plus 15 equals 4. And then I work this out to see if it's a true statement. So negative 12 plus 16 is 4. So I get 4 equals 4, which is true. So I know I did it correctly. Looking at our second example, it says negative 3 equals j plus 5. Again, the first thing I want you to do is box that and rewrite it. So I have negative 3 equals j plus 5. I'm going to go to the right side of the equation because that's where my variable is. If you look at the right side, I have j plus 5. So to undo that addition, I'm going to subtract 5. If I do it from one side, I have to do it to the other. So on the left side, negative 3 minus 5 is going to give me negative 8. And on the right side, I'm just left with j, because 5 minus 5 is 0. So I get negative 8 equals j. So that's my solution. Now I need to test that, or check it. So negative 3 equals, I plug in negative 8 for j, plus 5. Now I need to go ahead and work out the right side, so I get negative 3 equals negative 3. So I know I've done it correctly. Numbers 3 and 4 I'm going to leave for you. Please make sure you show the same work that I did. You need to box and rewrite and go from there. If you look at the bottom of the page, it says solving an equation using addition. So again, this is what's copied and pasted out of the book. Okay. This is just the opposite of solving using subtraction. So what this tells us is that if I add the same thing to both sides of an equation, I'll wind up with an equivalent equation. So flipping over to the back side, let's look at actually solving a couple of these. So the directions are the same. It says solve the equation and check your solution. So just like we did before, the first thing I'm going to have you do is box and rewrite the original. So I'm going to go ahead and box this and rewrite it. So a minus 20 equals negative 3. Now I go to the side with the variable, which in this case is the left side. On the left side, I have a minus 20. So to undo that subtraction, I'm now going to have to do addition. Since it's minus 20, I'm going to add 20. If I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side to keep it equivalent. So on the left side, minus 20 plus 20 is 0, so I just have a. And then I have negative 3 plus 20, which is going to give me positive 17. Then it says to check your solution. So I plug in 17 where I saw a. So 17 minus 20 equals negative 3. if I work out that left side, 17 minus 20 is negative 3, so I get negative 3 equals negative 3, and I know that I've done it correctly. Moving on to example number 2. Again, the first thing I want you to do is box and rewrite. So I have negative 9 equals k minus 11. I go to the right side because that's where the variable is. I'm subtracting 11, so to undo that operation, I'm going to do the inverse, which is to add 11 to both sides. On the left side, negative 9 plus 11 is positive 2. On the right side, I just have k, because negative 11 plus 11 is 0. Now I can check this, so I'm going to do negative 9 equals 2 minus 11. I work that out, I get negative 9 equals negative 9, so I know I've done it correctly. Alright, 3 and 4 I'm going to leave for you to do on your own. Again, please make sure you show all of the work, including boxing and rewriting. And then on the bottom, we just have some mixed practice. So I'll do a couple examples for you. Again, I'm going to box and rewrite to start with. So I have 10 plus k plus 6 equals 22. Over on the left side where the variable is, if you notice, I have a 10 and a 6. So I can put those together first, and I'll get k plus 16 equals 22. Now, since I have k plus 16, I know I need to subtract from both sides. And so that's going to leave me with just k on the left. 22 minus 16 is 6. So that's going to be my answer there. It says to check my solution, so I need to plug in. So I have 10 plus 6 plus 6 equals 22. 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. So I know I've done that correctly. I'm going to leave number 2 for you guys. I'm going to skip down. Actually, I'm going to skip all the way down to number 4. So same thing as always, I'm going to start by boxing and rewriting. So I have negative 9 equals negative 15 plus b minus 3. So just on that right side, I have negative 15 and minus 3, so I'm going to put those together first, negative 18. Now to solve this, I need to add 18 to both sides. Negative 9 plus 18 is positive 9. Negative 18 plus 18 is 0, so I'm just left with b. So that's my answer there. Okay, I'll leave 2 and 3 for you guys to work out. And then on the next page, there's a couple word problems here. It says to write an equation to model the situation, then solve the equation. So let's look at number 1. Number 1 says you pay $1.70 for a box of oatmeal after using a coupon for 80 cents off. Find the regular price of the oatmeal. So I know that my new price is equal to my original price minus the coupon. So my new price is $1.70. My original price I don't know, so I'm just going to put P there. And my coupon was 80 cents. So I'm trying to figure out what that original price is. So to solve that, I'm going to add 80 cents to both sides. Again, to keep it equivalent. $1.70 plus 80 cents is going to be $2.50. Minus 80 cents plus 80 cents just cancel each other out. So I just have P there. So my original price is $2.50. Number 2, I'm going to let you guys try. Number 3, it says find the value of x for the given triangle. So we're given the information that the perimeter is 70, and then we're given 2 sides of the triangle, and we're looking for the last side, which is x. Now we know to find the perimeter of a triangle is really straightforward. It's just a plus b plus c, meaning we're just going to add up all the sides. So I'm going to plug in things that I know. I know the perimeter is 70, so I'll plug in 70 there. I'm going to say that a is 20, b is 21, and c is that x. So I'm trying to figure out what that x is. So on the right side, I can combine 20 and 21 and get 41 plus x. And then since that's a positive 41, I know I need to subtract 41 to get rid of it. If I do that for one side, I have to do it to the other. 70 minus 41 is 29. And then on the right side, 41 minus 41 is 0, so I'm just left with x. Now, I'm doing a measurement, so I need to add my units, and in this case, it's inches, so 29 inches. The bottom of this last page is all review, so I'll leave that to you. That's it for Unit 6, Part 1.